tonight on Tiny Builds, Tiny Tips. An imposter has infiltrated the neighborhood rescue squad and is threatening to foil tonight's mission. With your trusty slingshot, it's up to you to scout ahead, know your two types of shots, and figure out who is the neighbor in disguise. Find out how to play as the scout. Coming up next. Ready? Aim! Loose! The Scout is a support character who specializes in speed and distracting the neighbor with her trusty slingshot. A Scout's slingshot holds 10 walnuts, which can be used to defend herself and rescue other players. You can perform a normal attack by tapping your shoot button, or a charged attack by holding down the shoot button for 0.6 seconds, and then releasing when you're ready to fire. You'll know you're performing a charged shot when your camera zooms into the target. To cancel your shot and preserve your ammo, press RT or the right mouse button. A standard slingshot will deal 5 damage points, whereas a charged shot will do 5 times the amount of damage. Your slingshot ammunition can be resupplied by using any of the walnut bags located throughout the levels, and can be used unlimited times regardless of how many walnuts remain in your inventory. Locations of the walnut bags can be found here for those wanting to memorize their locations and scout ahead of the game. And while you're writing this down, enjoy this brief word from our sponsors. Be sure to keep your eyes on Hello Neighbor 2. This free game is available to play now on Steam and the Microsoft Store. In this game, you play as Quentin, a reporter who is following the disappearance of Mr. Peterson. Your investigation takes a turn though when you witness 3 trick-or-treaters get kidnapped by a strange being known as the Guest. Using stealth, technology, and detective skills, it's up to you to rescue the missing people and find out what happened to Mr. Peterson. So be sure to check out Hello Neighbor 2 Alpha 1.5 today, and follow and wishlist the game on Steam. Now, back to the video. The Scout has a special ability that allows her to gain evasive maneuvers, which serves as a speed boost when she hits the neighbor 3 times with her slingshot. But have you ever had this happen? You land your shots, but you don't receive evasive maneuvers. Well, here's the thing. Evasive maneuvers is only rewarded for quick shots and not charge shots. If you hit the neighbor 3 times without missing within a 2-second window, you will gain a temporary speed boost, which lasts 5 seconds. If you hit the neighbor twice, but fail to hit the neighbor within 2 seconds, all progress towards evasive maneuvers is reset, and the Scout will have to hit the neighbor an additional 3 times to gain the speed boost. Also, evasive maneuvers is only granted if you land shots on the neighbor while they are in the neighbor form and not in the child disguise. So when playing Scout, you have to decide if you want to deal 5 times more damage, or land 3 quick shots and receive evasive maneuvers. Keep in mind with the slingshot though, that it's mainly used as a support weapon, and not the primary weapon. Even if you were to hit the neighbor successfully with all charged shots, it will not be enough to defeat him. In fact, the neighbor will still have a little bit of health left. And if you were to have unlimited ammunition and performed quick shots against the neighbor, you'd be reloading many times. Before we get into a more detailed analysis though, I would like to ask you, Ravenbrooks, what do you think of the Scout so far in the game? Do you think any adjustments need to be made, or is she well balanced? Let us know in the comments. After further research and testing on the Scout's slingshot, it was discovered that it would take 4 charged shots, or 20 quick shots to knock down a normal player, 11 charged shots, or 51 quick shots to knock down the scary neighbor or clown neighbor, 15 charge shots, or 85 quick shots to knock down the butcher neighbor. And this is if you don't miss and the neighbor doesn't get a chance to regain their health. Now I understand you might have mixed feelings now about the slingshot upon seeing this data, but don't fret. While a full round of slingshot ammunition is not enough to defeat the neighbor by itself, the slingshot is a great weapon to provide support to your teammates in confrontations with the neighbor, and to use as a quick getaway. For example, have you ever thrown an item and it clipped into another item that was just dropped by the player who was grabbed by the neighbor? Well, with the slingshot ammo's small size, it's less likely to collide with other objects and more likely to hit the neighbor. So in group combat, I personally recommend combining the slingshot with throwing household objects. Household objects do slightly more damage overall than the charged slingshot attack, and you can always switch to the slingshot if you need to free a teammate who just got grabbed and don't want to risk the chance of having your object clip into something else. If things take a turn for the worse though, and you need to retreat, Land 3 quick shots and make a run for it. Whether you're a member of the rescue squad or a neighbor in disguise, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode of Tiny Builds, Tiny Tips. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave it a like, write a comment, share it with a friend, subscribe to the Tiny Build Games YouTube channel, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this one. I'll see you next week. And remember, be sure to keep an eye on your neighbor. Oh, no! That was some goaltending.